we're a fan-facing business, right? People need to come to Wrigley Field. It's a friendly confines. People have to have fun here with their families or their friends. And so we have to make security very robust, but also feel not out of place. And so I think what's really special about James is he has a really collaborative nature, the way he approaches his tasks and his charge, working with the rest of our organization to make sure everyone is safe, everyone is always secure, but doing it in a way that is sensitive to the rest of the business. And that, I think, is a very unique skill set in the security field.
One of the big things that James is responsible for is crowd security, which unfortunately becomes a bigger challenge every year with everything we're seeing around the world. He has a lot of responsibility with respect to making sure that our fans are safe. And there's 3.5 million people that come through Wrigley every year. So he's done a great job with that. He's also responsible for keeping the team safe, which is a completely different set of issues with people that hang around the team or try to meet up with the players on the road. He's responsible for them all the time. And thirdly, he's responsible for the associates that work here, and specifically my family. When I'm traveling with the team, he makes sure that everything goes as smoothly as possible. Sometimes it's not very easy for me to get in and out of situations, and he's always there making sure that goes well.
My first interaction with James was probably in about 2010 with the GCHLPA, which subsequently became known as Chicago Heat, the Hospitality, Entertainment, and Tourism Group. And I believe that he hosted the meeting of that group that month at the Palmer House Hilton, which is where he worked as the Director of Security. Federal law enforcement partners had a previous relationship with that group, multiple agencies, and over time, some of the folks had just fallen off the radar. I think they were a little bit skeptical at first that I would be around for a while, but I saw a need as the FBI representative to be partnered with them for both of our interests, and I felt like this was a group that I needed to engage in. I promised them that I would be available to them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I think there were some instances where James took me up on that offer.
He understands the role security plays in the organization, which is critical, but it's an enabling function, not sort of the core of what we do. It's one of those roles where no one really thinks about it unless something's going wrong. And so to be able to prepare us so we can always stay in the background and be comfortable that not being in the limelight is actually success, that's really sort of unique and special about James.
After the Cubs won the 2015 wild card game in Pittsburgh, I had a overexcited, possibly overserved fan who simply could not stop hugging me.
Put him in a headlock. Yeah. He was trying to hug him, but he basically had to, and you know, it's funny, it's still to this day, I don't think I've ever had to physically touch anyone when I'm around Tom. Typically my look, my presence, or some verbal commands will cause people to not do stupid things. But this guy was so excited when we won that All-Star game, he put Tom in a headlock. And I could tell Tom wasn't very comfortable with the situation. Like, I could tell it was like not feeling very good. So I just remember like grabbing the guy, lifting him up, and putting him a couple sections back.
I think it all boils down to his compassion. He loves his job. He's very dedicated to his job. He's dedicated to working hard. And he cares about the people that he works with, the Cubs family, the players, the fans. He really puts them first, and I think that's what makes him so successful.
I refer to it as art. I'm creating something here that's my own, that's special, especially since, you know, I'm the first director of security for the Chicago Cubs, is everything I touch, right? I start with a blank canvas, and everything I touch and every decision I make and every person I train and every policy and procedure I put in place, every camera, every access control, that's my form of art.
Really unique challenge, right? You have a 100-year-old building that when James came here, if you actually saw the photos of the old sort of surveillance room, it's sort of laughable. Like there were like wires running everywhere, all these sort of like analog, systems. And so James had the sort of unenviable task of really starting from the bottom and retrofitting an old building.
I walk through this building and I see the access control points and the cameras, and that's something I created. That's mine. I put that here. And so I really love that opportunity to create my own form of art here with them.
I give James a lot of credit for me actually getting to the clubhouse in 2016 in Cleveland. I mean, the place was up for grabs, it was chaos, And to be able to get us all down there in time for that trophy ceremony was a great example of why James Reynolds is so important to this organization.
I think it's the unknown. Like, I can't, there's not waking up and saying, this is what, oh, I'm excited, this is what we're doing today. It's waking up and it's like, wonder what I'm gonna do today. It's the unknown of what the day is gonna bring me that I guess, and that challenge that excites me, that, you know, makes me get out of that bed and come into work and do it again.